So I recently bought a pair of pearl gouramis, and after watching their behaviour and watching a bunch of videos, I thought it would be cool to share everything I know. They're native to slow-moving waters of Southeast Asia and need a temperature of around 25 to 28 degrees Celsius and a pH of 5.5 to 7.5. Their diet consists of mainly plant matter, mosquito larvae, and pellets and vegetables. Because in the wild there is such little dissolved oxygen, they've evolved to be able to breathe at the surface, which is why it's normal to see them breathing at the top of the water for air. This behaviour is often confused for gasping for air, which is why you also don't need a very powerful filter. In their natural habitat there's a whole heap of plants, which is why they have such thin bodies to be able to move through them all. This is also why having heaps of plants in your tank is very important, so that they'll be able to hide. The waters they're from can also be quite dark and murky, so they've evolved very thin, long ventral fins that usually go from where they start all the way to the end of their body. These are used to feel their surroundings and are very sensitive. Although they have these, they mainly rely on sight, and they can grow back if damaged. But because of how long they are, they look like worms to other fish, so be very careful that there are no fin nippers in the tank. And similar to loaches, they make clicking noises in the water. This is usually used by males when they are eating or when they are fighting each other, as if they're cursing each other out. Pearl gouramis can get around 12 centimeters long, with the females usually getting a little bit bigger than the males, which means they'll need a tank of no smaller than 100 liters per pair. Although they are a very peaceful fish, male gouramis can get territorial, especially when a female is present, which is why it's so important to have a big tank. As long as you have the proper tank set up with lots of hiding places, you can get them some tank mates. Some great tank mates are things like tetras, rasboras, plecos, some dwarf cichlids, and loaches. Although I wouldn't always trust guides like this, because my blue acara fizz is speciest and only likes to attack the pearl gouramis. Some bad tank mates are big aggressive fish like cichlids, small shrimp, tiger barbs, and fish that are small enough to fit in their mouth. Also just any other fish that you think would target their fins and rip them to pieces. Telling male and female gouramis apart can be hard when they're young, but when they get older and more mature, it becomes much more obvious. The females are much bigger and chunkier, they have less colour and more rounded dorsal fins, whilst the male are smaller, thinner, have an orange-yellow neck and a more pointy dorsal fin. There are also extensions coming off of his fins when fully mature. This can often be mistaken with torn fins. If you're looking to breed them, it's best to get a separate breeding tank so that they don't get too aggressive with the other fish and the other fish don't attack their young. After conditioning the pair by feeding them lots of food like bloodworms and brine shrimp, the male will build his bubble nest and attempt to attract the female over. He will then wrap around her and the female will drop some of her eggs and then be chased away. Then once the male has placed her eggs in the bubble nest, she'll come back and lay more eggs. This will continue until the female no longer has any eggs left in her, and at this point you should take her out of the tank to prevent being chased around and hurt by the male. Male gouramis are very good parents and will take care of the babies until they have hatched and take care of the fry for a while. The average life expectancy for these fish is around 5 years, although with proper care they can live up to 8. With this information, you can hopefully get your pearl gouramis to live a long and healthy life, with hopefully not many mistakes, although mistakes are almost guaranteed to happen. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next video.